Good morning, everyone. This is Douglas Braye. I'm the BIM Service Manager here at MicroCAD, and it's my pleasure to do this webinar for everyone. I hope you all will get something out of this as we show you some of the productivity tools that we are offering. We also have Ruby on the line. She will be looking at the questions. So if you have questions that you would like to ask, I'll try to make some time towards the end to address those questions. And if I don't have time, I'll look at them and we will make it available to do that. We do have this PDF here of the productivity tools that you all can read through and look at. You can download that at your leisure and take a closer look at that. I appreciate Ruby uploading that for you all so that you all will have that. Also, everyone is in listen only mode. So this is going to be pretty cool. So let me turn off email just a second. And maybe that will be a little bit better here. Mute that. And let's get rolling here. So again, I'm the BIM manager here at MicroCAD, and of course, manager of BIM services, and we do project work. So I am using this tool. I'm starting to use it more and more each day. I'm starting to see how productive it is, and it's helping me out. When I loaded the tool, it was nice seeing right up here that we have our MicroCAD Revit tool tab, which is really nice. And the first tool that I like to show you is the folder tool. So you click on that, and I'll bring it on over here. Let's try that one more time. You click on the folder, it brings up the location where that file is. So I think that's really nice to have, just in case you needed to open up another file. You are able to do that. The next tool is the export tool, and I really like this tool. And I think when it comes to, for those who are on the line who are BIM managers, and you're creating different families, on a regular basis, this will be very helpful for you. So a lot of times I'll make a family and then I will load it into the project. And so that family kind of stays into the project, and I don't necessarily save it to the server where I have the family library. So the export tool, what it allows you to do is it allows you to, let me collapse all of this. It brings up all of the categories that you can see here, even tags. So let's say I look at this piece of furniture. Let's say I want this this table. Even gives a nice little preview. Let's say I do this mechanical equipment. I want to do the rooftop unit, as well as this plumbing fixture right here. I do this like this water closet. And as you can see here, we can pick a location where we want to export this out. So I'm going to select this particular folder, Export Revit Families, and I'm going to say OK. And I'm going to do Export. Let it do its thing here. And if you notice right here on my screen, not only did it export the families, but it also put them in their respective folders per that category. So we go on the furniture, there's that table there. Here is the mechanical piece of equipment, as well as the plumbing fixture. I really like this tool because one of my colleagues, Mariah Roth, she helped created a template for MicroCAD. So we have one for architectural and MEP and structural. So I can open up that template and export out families for that. Of course, as well as you can export out, the other tool that we have here is we can import. This is another one that I really, really like. So let's say, again, we have some families we want to bring into a project. And this is great, again, for BIM managers, because hopefully some of you all have a Revit template that you're using, but you're not going to have all of your families loaded within that template. So this tool will give you a chance to import those families that you have on a server. So we're going to go here to import Revit families. And as you can see right here, I have generic annotations. That's what we're going to bring in. So I can hit OK. And what's really nice about this is, you know, as we click on each of these generic annotation symbols that I want to bring in, it gives us a nice little preview of what we want to bring in, which again I really like. So that way you're not looking at just a name of what you want to import and you're trying to figure out what did you name that particular family, but also gives you a nice picture of what that is. So we can go ahead and bring those in. We're going to import those into our project here. It's just 3 of them, so it shouldn't take that long to do that. And so now if we look down here on the families, under our project browser, here's our ADA symbol. Here's our graphic scale. I'll just bring over our 8th graphic scale that we have. And I also have this rotating north arrow that I've made. Pretty handy. Generic annotations we can bring in. This particular one, you can have either show the circle or the person. Okay. Let's look at another tool here. The next one is the BIM Management tool. And so the way this particular one works is it when you go to multi-tool editor, you can let's kind of zoom on in here just a tad bit. We're bringing that tool back up. As we see here, we can edit the type parameters of multiple families at the same time. So for instance, in this particular example, I have this table and I have this door. So I can go to furniture. I can pick up my rectangular table, let's say here. Let's say I wanted to change that to be a 10-foot table. And let's say we go to our where our doors are, single flush door. For instance, if I wanted to change the width of this door, for instance, to like a 5-foot door. If you notice right over here, you see that change. There we go. So that's, again, just an example on how that tool works. That particular one, to be able to change multiple tool aspects, type aspects for your different families. The next one here, which is the match instance, we can see here in this particular example, like I have this TV flat screen here. If you notice, I have an offset from the host floor to be 2 foot 6 inches. But these over here, I do not have an offset for it. So the way this tool works is we can select these two, come over here to our tools here, match properties. We select the element that we want to match. and then we select the parameter that we want to get the information from and hit apply. So now, as you see, these are also at the same elevation as the one that we had over here. I do like that, and I can see utilizing that one for all trades, whether it's architectural, structural, or MEP. Upgrade families. Oh, this is really, really nice. I think this particular one would really, again, help the BIM managers as well as the export and import. So what this one does is, for those of you who are very organized and you keep your families in a folder, you may say Revit 19 families. What this tool would do is it will upgrade the families in that folder from that version to the current version that you're presently working in. And right now we're working in Revit 2020. So we can see here we have a designation, generic model. We can go there and I can show you. That way you see what we're doing. So we're going to generic model, and we're going to take these two families, which is in Revit 19 version, and we're going to, the software with the productivity tools is going to make a copy of them and place them in this folder, which is for the Revit 2020 families. Not only will it do that, and I'm just going to move this off to the side, and you see those kind of populate right in here when I run the tool. Not only will it upgrade the family from 2019 to 2020, it will also copy it into the into our current project here. So let me just hit cancel for a second and collapse this. And those are generic models. So you'll see those populate right over here when I run that tool. So let's give this thing a spin here. So we're gonna go ahead and do upgrade families. It shouldn't take that long because it's just two of them. And as you can see right over here, here's your drain sleeve, and here is the other insert plate. As well as you can see here, it has placed those families. I really like that tool, and I can definitely see from a BIM management standpoint, keeping files organized, keeping things very useful and organized for that. So for those families, I'm just gonna drag and drop those in. That's just a work plane base. That's just a sleeve I made. And then this insert plate that I had. These are structural elements that I'm just showing you presently. Okay. Next tool here is the BIM Query. Now we have a lot of tools here, and we only have a short amount of time to show you what I can. So we will be doing another one, but I just wanted to let you know, don't worry if I don't get to everything here. We will have another webinar to go over all of these. So the BIM Query, the way this one works is you select the elements. So let's say I want to select these rooms here, and then we come over here to MicroCAD Revit Tools and do BIM Query. It will make this Excel spreadsheet of those elements that you have selected. But what's nice about it is that you can kind of watch right over here. Let's say I wanted to, the floor here needs to be, let's say wood. Let's say the ceiling ACT, and we're going to apply these changes that we did. You can also save out as an Excel file. So we're going to save and close. If you notice, that information got populated right over here. I can definitely see how useful that can be as well. I really do like that one. Now, the other one is project cleanup. When you click on that one, there is a great deal of different things that you can clean up out of your model. Again, this is again for your BIM managers who's managing your projects, making sure that you don't have extraneous content within there that could slow it down or hurt the performance of it. So of course we can get rid of material cleanup, unplaced rooms. So let's go to, I have a room schedule here. Let's go to that room schedule. And you can see, yeah, we have 3 unplaced rooms here. So let's run that tool. We want to unplaced room cleanup. These 3 rooms show right on up. We can just go ahead and click those and hit purge, and say yes, and then they're gone. They're right out of the model. Another one is, let's say you wanted to do your line cleanups. Sometimes I know when you have users or you have some firms that are still doing CAD and Revit, kind of a merge model type of a thing. So they're importing CAD files into Revit. You may get a lot of line styles coming in over from Revit. So you can click on that tool, say here we got one that says trash, my line style, and someone did one that says don't touch me. It's gone. So we're gonna get rid of those line styles that were in here that should not have been into the model. Again, for your BIM managers and those who are trying to make sure that the model is clean and people are using the right line styles from a standard standpoint. I do find that very, very helpful on that note. The query, the QA model review, where there's a QA/QC tag. The QA/QC tag, what that does is when you click on this, it will select any doors that you have not tagged. So if I say, hey, untag instances, and you can notice they turn blue. Okay, as well as if I did have something that was tagged, let's say these that I have over here, I can go back to QA/QC tag and say, hey, select all tag doors that are tagged. It will kind of highlight those particular elements within the model. Now for the other one, where is here where it says create tag, we can click that. Let's say we just put 0 on that, and we're going to do like a door tag. It works similar to create all, or not to create all, but tag all. So we say create tag for that, and it'll put tags in there for all of your doors. Okay. Now, toggle transparency, the way this one particularly works, is you click that and then you can select elements and it will toggle the transparency of that particular object that you're doing. As you can see, we can see through the chair as well as the down to the what the floor finish is. I like that one too as well. The next tool we have here is the Analyze tool. This particular one, we have some other ones in here, but I would like to, show you the room lighting one and how this one works. So we do room lighting, and what it would do is it'll generate a column schedule for you where you can see. So let me scroll all the way down to the bottom. So you see where we have these 3 rooms down here, and here they are right here. 21, 22, 23. And let me move this up just a tad bit. We can see here that, let me move this over just a touch. These two rooms have one window, and then this particular room has two windows. The software does account for those windows, and it is giving you the percentage ratio for that when it comes to the lighting. So the room lighting percentage of those rooms, and also, as you can see, it takes into account the number of windows that's in that room, as well as the area of the window. It's taking that into account. I think for the architects who are trying to calculate that, I think that would be very helpful for those out there doing that as well. I do find that real handy there. I haven't done a calculation like that, but I do see that very useful. Now for this tool right here, it says visibility for reinforcement. Obviously that is for if there's any structural engineers or structural designers on the call. So as you see here, you can, right now presently it's set to make obscure, so that way you just see it as is, you're not able to look through it, but you can do make unobscured, and that way you can kind of see through it. The next one is you can make it wireframe, where it just kind of gives you wireframe type look, or you can make it solid like it presently is. You can look through there, and then you can change it back to be obscured. So where I find this handy is for the structural engineers, those who want to look through and look for reinforced conflicts when it comes to reinforcements. Okay, we got about 5 minutes here. I want to show you some other real nice things. Now the import feature here, you can import a spreadsheet. So I'm gonna do import, open an Excel spreadsheet. I made this AEP bill Excel file, so I'm gonna hit open. Just something that I made, so I can just do import that. Over here under schedules, here is the file itself. I'm gonna select all this and change the row height to be like at 2. And then what we can do is go to a particular sheet, and then we can drag and drop that schedule right there on the plan. So I do like that. I think I find that real helpful to do something like that. Probably need to work on there we go, making that a whole lot better. There we go. That's what I want to see. So I definitely can see how that would be very handy and useful for those who still do a lot of schedules within Excel, and you want to bring those into Revit. All right. The next tool I want to show you is the Align tool. This is again one of those tools that you need to show your team, especially when it comes to standardization. You want your drawings to look really nice and presentable for the contractor and also for the owner who's looking at your work. So what we can do is we can select this text and this line, go to our productivity tools and go here and do single align, and then we can do left, and you can see the text aligns to the single line that we have, either left or right, or we can do a top or bottom. The next one is, which is the align text. You can even get even more detail with it. So you can do center right here for the text with respect to that line. You can say apply, and it will move the text to that particular line based off of where you want it to be. So I do find that very helpful. But again, when you're using a tool like this, you're really being more specific on where you want your text to be. So that could be for a like a diagram that you would use something like that for. The one that says, the one that's next one here is the left. If you also notice, look right up here, there's a LE. So I made some keyboard shortcuts for some of these of the text alignment. So you can click here, they click here, and they will align this text right up here. You know, what I do left, that should have been right, but I think you get the point there. So I'll do right on this one. So when it comes to alignment, I do right, click here, and it's going to adjust it right to the right side of all of that. I do find that very, very helpful. We're getting about a minute left. There's some other ones I want to show. Let's do this this bubble one. I think I like this bubble one, and then I'm going to show you this other one. And again, stay tuned for our next webinar. But let me show you this one. This one here, when it comes to the bubble, so we can click here, bubble. So we can say show bubble at pick point. So we can pick down here, and all of our bubbles are down here at the bottom. And we can come back over here, bubble at pick point. We can do hide, and so now all of them hide at the top part. I really do like that one. And one of the other tools I want to show you is, and this is by far is probably my favorite. I'm gonna come right on in here, and I'm gonna pick these rooms. Well, let's just do this one first. So you can pick this room, and then a tool is room to floor. So when you click on that one, you can select a floor family to place in that room. So let's do blue carpet here, and you can also have an offset. So I want the thickness of this particular floor is 1/4, so I want to have it offset as 1/4. So I can go ahead and do OK, and it go ahead and places that in there. Not every room is going to be square, so this is very, very helpful for those rooms for you to place it, especially if you're doing some renderings and you need to have a floor finish in there. So I'm gonna do VCT there, and I do one more over here. We're going to do room to floor. Maybe I do like a wood for that one. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, we're getting, I'm gonna go ahead and look for any kind of questions that we may have. Are there any questions out there from anyone?
Ruby from the marketing team just jumping in. Feel free to write any questions right now, or if you think of any later, you can definitely save them for the next webinar that Douglas will do, or you can fill out a contact form on our website. And don't forget to download in this little handouts tab. We have a brochure kind of summarizing some of the Revit tools.
Awesome. And I know we have, thank you, Ruby, and we also have productivity tools for Civil 3D, for AutoCAD, and of course, I just went over some of the ones here for Revit. So like Ruby said, stay tuned, check our schedule for other webinars that we're going to have as we show you areas where you can be more productive. I appreciate everyone attending, and look forward to hearing from you all shortly. Thanks again.